Welcome. I'm Glenn Wyrick, and today we're going to talk about how to maximize capital asset efficiencies through a new way to look at JD Edwards reporting. As you're trying to run your equipment maintenance operation, and you're trying to get those meaningful insights out of JD Edwards to help you run your business, do you sometimes feel like more of a miner trying to troll through the data and understand what's going on, instead of feeling like someone who's really focusing on the maintenance operation that you're a part of? What if there was a quick and simple way to get at the treasure that is buried within JD Edwards in a way that really works for the business user, that is the person responsible for the various aspects of capital equipment maintenance? Right now, you probably get a lot of that information through a combination of some level of static reports. Maybe you get SQL dumps from IT. Maybe you have things going to access databases. But what if, instead of going through all those gyrations of reports, you could get better answers immediately at your fingertips? Because really, at the end of the day, we see that your management really wants things like reduced downtime, optimized asset lifecycles, increased efficiencies, and of course, lower maintenance costs. And you, the maintenance user, are likely to want just the maintenance answers you need in one place right when you need them, so that you can get on with your work and run an efficient and effective operation. And let's not forget our friends in IT. What they likely want is to really get out of the report building business. No more adding one more column to the user's report. Instead, spending time on strategic initiatives that really add value back to the organization. So today we'll be looking at how we can help you move away from that traditional approach that tends to give you limited visibility, possibly a difficult process, it's resource intensive, and move you to something where you get immediate visibility with actionable information so that you can really achieve operational efficiencies and reduce costs. Stay with us for about the next 20 minutes and we'll show you how you can really meaningfully and quickly increase your visibility to the critical information that will help move your operations forward. Just before we look at software, I'd like to talk about the 6 key principles we believe are essential for you to run an effective information strategy. First of all, fast. The days of 3-hour batch jobs running just to get a report out, or going to IT for massive SQL dumps that then get loaded into spreadsheets that then take hours or days to manipulate into some form of reports, just doesn't keep up with today's business. Users require business answers within seconds at their fingertips. To support that, real-time information is essential. Like long-running reports, gone are the days where having staged data that's a day or more old sitting off in another server delivers the results you need. Next, we're going to talk about the importance of something that's truly made for a business user. You're about to see a tool set that begins and ends with the business user with no requirement for IT involvement. That, of course, means that we need minimal training for those users. In fact, we require 1 to 3 days of training for our power users, but for the information consumers within your organization, our customers roll out globally without any form of training because the interface is so intuitive. Part of the reason that's true is because we are purpose-built for your ERP system. Therefore, we know how to honor your security in real time and all the feature functionality that goes along with your ERP that your users will be familiar with is replicated and honored in our tool set. Finally, we'll show you what a quick install really is all about. We'll prove to you that you can go live in an hour with no extra software or hardware and be getting the kinds of results you're about to see in the demo within just a few days, and that's really important. So this is what we're about to show you through a demonstration. We're first going to talk about this concept of rethinking your whole approach to reporting to find a much better way to get business answers more quickly and easily. In that process, we'll then see how you can increase your accuracy, gain real-time visibility to information, take that real-time visibility and apply powerful analytics to get meaningful insights while improving all your processes, and we'll end with some words on the quick start methodology, which means you could have these kinds of benefits at your company within just a few days. So first, let's talk about rethinking your reporting. This first report that we're looking at as we talk about rethinking reporting is actually a live interactive view of real-time data out of your system. So therefore, I can do things like self-interrogate. Now, another key about this is that this report was built by a business user, an end user, and this type of report would take around 30 minutes to create, click one button to publish, and now a group of consumers, possibly maintenance workers, would receive this. So now we are maintenance workers, and we might be cost accountants, let's say. We'll start with that example. And so here I'm trying to determine amongst these different assets, which ones are costing me the most money to maintain. So for example, I can see that paint booth 1 and 2, although they are identical pieces of equipment, we've done a per day cost, which shows me that paint booth 2 is costing exactly double to maintain. And I can start to see where some of those costs are coming from in materials, outside costs, service, etc. But now we're going to really highlight the value of these live interactive views. So we're going to self-interrogate. Now that I see that this thing is kind of high, I'm going to drill down a little more and get some more information about the cost details. So again, I probably have my cost accountant hat on at this moment, as we then get a really nice breakdown of this piece of equipment and what's got into labor, costs and hours, material costs, outside services, which accounts that's been booked to, and I can see how all the numbers break down very easily. Now let's say we're going to put our operations hat on, we're going to do some more interrogation. If I was being a cost accountant, I might drill down further right to the specific GL transactions. But let's go take a look at the latest equipment work orders and see how it is that we're driving these kinds of costs from an operational perspective. So now we've jumped right over and we're in work order data. But unlike how you can get it out of the ERP, we very nicely can show you here some pretty rich asset information and equipment maintenance information. Things like who's the manufacturer, what was the model year. But then I've also got this rich work order information. When was the work order started? When was it planned? We can see that this work order was completed 5 days late, where this work order down here was completed 2 days early. And as you scroll through, you can see that we've got that kind of nice formatting throughout the report. And then I can really look here to truly understand exactly what's driving my cost, because I can see the total maintenance cost for a given work order, broken out then by the total parts, the labor, etc. I can even see my average cost per hour that we worked on this work order. Our customer, States of Jersey, said about rethinking their entire approach to this reporting problem is that the solution was so easy to use without an extensive training effort. They were able to meet the needs of people with complex requirements as well as simple ones while providing consistent information for all. What this means for you is you get everyone on the same page with quick, meaningful information. Now let's talk about how we continue with these techniques to give much better accuracy and the benefits you can get from that. Here I'm going to show you how our customers are able to achieve 100% confidence in the accuracy of their master data. What we're looking at here is an item master, or that is an asset item master report, where I can see various information, and currently we're looking at a record that is clean. I know it's clean because I've got this thing that's green on it, I don't see any red errors, and so I know that this record is set up correctly. Let's look at a lot of our asset records altogether and ensure that they're set up correctly. Uh-oh, big problems. We got red, we got yellow. This is a quick, easy way for whoever is responsible for these records to understand they are missing definitions in the equipment class, the major equipment class. You don't have unit numbers on some of your stuff. There are certain assets that maybe don't get a model year, so it's highlighted as a warning as opposed to an error. And by the way, we're able to figure out that this asset is currently being booked to the wrong object account in the GL. By fixing this here, we will make it easier on the accountants and make month-end close work much better, because they're not going to have to track down why all the costs for these assets were going to the wrong place. Now let's take it a step further. I want to better understand the setup for this asset, so in addition to the asset master, I need to make sure that my preventative maintenance schedules are set up correctly. So we've just drilled on that one piece of equipment called a phone switch, and here we can see the various types of maintenance scheduled. Once again, I've got a warning on the screen because I don't have tickler dates scheduled for all these activities. So this is highlighting me that I need to consider putting those in. By the way, in all of these reports, I always get the user ID, although cryptic here, this would say your J.D. Edwards user ID, and the last date updated, so I know the last person that touched this record, so I can track down issues if there are any. Now let's look at this same data. We're just going to twist this same report around a little bit. Again, I'd like to remind you, these reports were built by end users. The reports we're looking at right now are so simple they would take maybe 15, 20 minutes to create and publish out to the end user community that we are now a part of. What we've done with this report is just flipped it around so that I'm looking at all of the items that get a certain type of service. For example, here I can see that my paint booth 2 and 3 regularly go in to have their light bulbs replaced. And this helps me highlight that I know that I have this paint booth 1. It's just like paint booth 2 and 3. So if it's not set up for the replacement of light bulbs, I have an issue to go solve. It should be showing up in this category. Just a few weeks after their 1-hour go-live, our customer Goodman Networks said they now get information up to 85% faster and have complete confidence, finally, in their data integrity. Sole Focus said that they've increased efficiency by as much as 75%. So when you focus on increasing the accuracy of your data, you really get significant operational efficiency gains. What would it mean at your company if you could improve efficiency by 75%? Or being conservative, even 25%? Now let's talk about real-time visibility and the value that can bring. Picking up where we left off, I want to really focus now on the true power of this real-time visibility to immediate information in your system. So here we are again on the preventative maintenance setup validation. And now that I've understood the issues, and we'll assume we went back and resolved those, and so now my report shows some clean master data, I want to further explore and understand what maintenance is therefore coming due. So I can quickly jump as an end user right over to this report, which highlights that in my very old data based on the year 2006, we have some big problems. We have things that haven't been serviced for over 7,000 days. So again, we're using some conditional formatting to highlight things when they're out of tolerance, and I can get a lot of rich information. I can see what fuel has been used, how many service days, what's the next scheduled due date, etc., so that I can really begin to understand my operation. So since we know we have some big problems, we're way behind, I think it's time that we go and do an operational view, getting some really powerful visibility to what is our upcoming work order schedule. So we're now just drilling right across to the work order system within the ERP, and here what we find, we've used a standard capability we have called aging, and we've created weekly buckets. This report, if you're keeping track, would take about maybe 45 minutes to possibly an hour for a business user to create and publish. So here what we do is get some really nice visibility to how many different work orders are scheduled within a time frame, and I can see what's happening with my graph here, and I can see how many hours of labor are booked. Now what happens here is I can easily see, in ways that I know you can't in your ERP, that we have not booked any maintenance on this second week of June. And since we're so far behind, I now know that I have an opportunity to work with my maintenance scheduler to throw some of that past due maintenance into this schedule and get it taken care of without disrupting the current plan that we have. Our customer, Dollar Thrifty Automotive Group, said that one benefit of this real-time visibility is that they have a lot more time to analyze information because they're not spending near so much time trying to get it out of the system. And this means for you, you get to make better, faster decisions and really focus on what moves your business forward. Now let's look at how this real-time visibility can be combined with powerful analytics to really give you meaningful insights into key aspects of your operation. Let's take a look at the value of applying simple yet powerful analytics to this meaningful information we're already looking at. So we're back here at my work order schedule. We worked actually with a customer to build the report you're looking at right now, and at that customer, they gave us a secondary problem they have. Once they know this information, they struggle to really understand the availability of their different crews by the different skill sets. So using basic information that was already loaded in JD Edwards, we built this next thing with them. What is the crew availability? And now we get to really start understanding the dynamics within our operation. So again, using that aging functionality that we looked at a little bit ago, we can see that we've built a daily schedule for the first 7 days and then a weekly schedule for the following 4 weeks. And I can actually explode out by different areas of their facility, and I can see just what labor is being used. Now let's just take this one more step further and really look at some powerful analytics. What is the load percent? we're going to really see what this labor means against our availability. So by applying just a little more in the way of calculations and formatting, what I can see is that on day one around welding and mechanics, I'm overloaded. I need to get some different staff or size down my work orders. I can also see that on days 2 and 5 and 7, I've got tons of capacity, so I can shuffle some of that around easily. So this is just an example of the beginning of what you can get from these powerful analytics. And what this customer was able to achieve is a much better control of their costs while improving their efficiencies. Washtenaw County runs an asset-intensive business, and they say that these techniques have significantly reduced the costs of conducting their business while they've been enhancing their service level to their regional businesses. So these methodologies can really help you gain great insights in how to control and reduce your costs. Now let's look at how we combine all of this to make some meaningful progress in improving your processes. ILFC says that Insight Unlimited is the best tool by far for business process improvement. Forefront Engineered Solutions says not only do these techniques save time, but they've led to significant decreases in spending and increased profitability. If you have initiatives in your company to increase profitability, this is a rapid way to get there. Speaking of rapid, let's talk about our Quick Start methodology and how we help our customers realize these business benefits in a surprisingly short amount of time. This Quick Start approach has helped every one of our customers in one way or another. For example, a multi-billion-dollar global company called DTZ says their business users were able to create their own reports and ad hoc views and publish them into production during the very first week. Dollar Thrifty Automotive says as more of our users are exposed to the solution, they see how they're getting their jobs done in less time with more efficiency. And finally, Muhlestein says it's the easiest implementation of a reporting system they've ever seen. You can install in less than 1 hour. So I'd like you to consider what it would mean at your business if all of your key stakeholders were really on the same page with meaningful information that gives you the actionable items to help you improve your operational efficiency through better, faster decisions to really gain the benefits of significant cost control and major savings in time and money spent. And all of this done with a very rapid value approach. So the final thing we would ask you is if you saw anything today that interested you, please give us a call and give us 60 minutes to install this system on your live data. We'll do that at no charge. Then we'll work with you for a couple more days, also at no charge, so that you can see immediately how you can increase visibility to your critical information and give your maintenance users the answers they really need in one place, right when they need them, so they can focus on really moving the business forward. Thank you.